Hey guys, just waiting for some people to show up. I don't go live very often. I'm going to try to do that more. Uh, so just waiting for somebody to come in. Hey guys, we got a couple guys in here. Just thought I'd do something live. I don't do that too often, so I'm going to do that hopefully more often. And like I said, we'll just work on like what I'm tonight. I'm going to talk about loading up some. Uh, I got some ADG brass that I'm gonna load up. I loaded up some LRXs with 67 grains of Mag Pro, and now I'm gonna just load up some 165 ABLRs. And the book says 65.3, and that only gives a pressure rating of 63,000. So I'm thinking I'm just gonna bump it up a half a grain and try a few and see what they look like as far as velocities and that kind of stuff. So and see if they do any if they group. So um, that's kind of what I'm gonna plan on doing today. So I don't know if you guys have done any hand loading for your 6.8 Western, or if you use Mag Pro. Um, I have. I just loaded up some 150s and some 136s for that 20-inch barrel that my son's going to be shooting. So um, I'm just going to basically trying to get some velocity out of those. So and we use 4831 SC, which doesn't have the best case fill. Um, it generally shoots pretty accurate. I had a I had them seated to 2.90, and I'm not a reloading aficionado, but I'm almost thinking that maybe Um, I could have maybe dropped those down a little bit lower since didn't quite have that case fill. So I was looking at when you get the 136s, there's a card that comes in and it shows what it would do for the which shows what it would do for the 270 WSM, and they have those with the case overall length of 2.86. So I might have been able to bump those in a bit more using 4831, but that's with they were used showing all Alliant powders. So and I of course don't have any of that. I do have a little bit, but it's Reloader 7, and so I haven't used that for a long time. So um, but anyway, so I've just been playing around with this stuff and trying to find something that works. I think 4831 is obviously it should be a good powder um, for the 150 range, and I tried out those 136s and the velocities were fantastic. They don't shoot too bad either. So it's just a light. The design of that terminal ascent kind of puts it, in my opinion, above most bullets. I just wish they would come out with one that's in the 160 range uh, for the for something like a 6.8 Western. Um, but so far, I haven't seen anything, and I don't know if they have any plans to. Um, I might have to call them and just plant a seed, maybe. So we'll see what kind of luck we have with that. So um, I got a few guys in here now. I'm not too savvy on this stuff yet, but I don't know if I can add you to the chat or if you just guys are just listening. Oh, there's somebody. Alpha Kenny 1, 556 or 76239. One has to go. Well, I would stick with the 556, but that's what I'm used to. So uh, I've never shot an AK. I did have a 300 blackout, which is very similar to the 7.62 by 39, but they're just so slow that I just don't see the point. Other than the fact that for those 300 blackout, it's running 220s suppressed or 208s, whatever. Anyway, so anyway, I would just stick with 5.56 just because to me speed is good. You can still run it suppressed. They have a little bit of pop sometimes. I'm planning on doing a video with my 5.56 with the AB Warthog on there, and because they do have a AB Warthog for the 5.56, but it's it's got a 5 rib design, and I have heard it. The guy that I bought my suppressors from shot one, and it had a little pop to it. There's only, like I say, there's 5 ribs. There's not as much circumference, so there's not as much area to for that suppressor to work, and so I think I would just literally stick with the 30 cal model, which is what I have, and just get that those extra baffles, get that extra um, volume to work with. Just and I think that it because it. I mean, I shot a ton of of the 6.8 Western in that last video, trying to get to 1,000 yards, and it got pretty hot. And but it works so good. I didn't have any ear pro or nothing, and it's a fantastic little suppressor. So anyway, yeah, I'm really happy with them, and they're relatively cheap. I think they were $480, something like that. And now we won't be. I guess they're saying January the new law will go into effect, and um, so we're looking at still having to wait 5 months to save our $200 possibly. So unless somebody can get that pushed through a little quicker. So we'll see how that goes. But um, I don't see any more questions here. But anyway, back to the 6.8 Western and loading those ABLRs. I'm thinking 65.3. I did shoot some of those, and I came up with 29.62 for an average velocity, which is right there with the factory ammo. And the factory ammo they are kind of pushing the limit on that stuff, because I have had some of those rounds, and I can't remember if it was the copper impacts or it could have been any of them. I did have a kind of a heavy bolt lift and a little bit of pressure sign on the brass on the factory ammo. So Winchester or Browning, whichever one it was that did that, they are loading them to, probably what it can handle, obviously. So, but with this ADG brass, I'm just gonna go to, what is it, 65.8 grains, I believe. Yeah, 65.8. So I'm gonna add a half a grain and see if I can't get that stuff up to maybe 29.80, something like that, and hopefully they shoot good. So, and having better brass might help that with that too. So we'll see. But and that's what I've been working on with the 6.8 Western. If you haven't seen that video of us going to 1,000 yards, you should check it out. It was a lot of fun. We reloading Weatherby kind of gave me the idea, because him and his buddy were and I did have a little conversation with him. He answered one of my on my video there, and I don't know his name. I gotta get to know him. He's a really nice guy, and those guys love to shoot, so they're all part of the clan here. And he's a 6.8 Western Army guy. So, but those guys shot that thing with the 175s out to 1,000 yards, and so I had to try that. I had 11 rounds left, and we just decided, well, let's go give it a shot. So went out to my buddy's place, who's got all kinds of acres, and we were set up at 980 yards. And we were dancing all around that plate. A couple of them were just off. I actually think a couple of them actually hit the hanger right at the top of the plate, and so it was close. And then we had those 170 silver tips, and my gun shoots them about inch and a quarter, and the 175s out of my gun are about inch and a half. Doesn't seem to like that much, and a lot of people claim that's the best bullet, the best one that they've shot out of their gun. That's not hand loaded, um, so I was kind of surprised that it didn't shoot that better. But so when you figure at 1,000 or 980 yards, the inch and a half is 15 inches, and we were shooting at a 10 by 12 plate. So if you're dancing all around it, that pretty much gives you a pretty good indication that that's about what it shoots. And the 170s, both Grant and I did hit it. I think I kind of edited some of that so you didn't have to watch all the misses and stuff in the video, but I think I had like 16 rounds or something like that. Yeah. And we ended up each hitting it once. But that's with the extreme spreads and SDs that are not very good on factory ammo. We had some of my 6 ARC stuff out there not too long ago, and I think I was probably about a 60% rate. And that was with the match ammo though. That was the 108s. So on the 6 ARC, so it's match ammo is obviously better than just like your hunting rounds, I would think, and Hornady does a good job of a pretty good job of making their match ammo shoot pretty good. So, and if you have a decent barrel, which that Howa 15 Mini 1500 is, they're decent barrels. They shoot pretty good. And because I was getting half-inch groups, maybe a little bigger with 108s, so they do like that stuff. But so now I got a bunch of 105s loaded up on the 6 ARC. Those I used the Barnes. I bought a bunch of Barnes match burners because that's what I could find at the moment here a while back, and so I'm still loading them up. And I got about 100 of them loaded up, and those are going around the 2670 feet per second range, and they shoot sub MOA, so they should work at the next PRS shoot, which is coming up on the 26th, so 26th of July. So that's something I'm really looking forward to. Hopefully everything works out where we can make that. So, but yeah, so far I don't have too many people in here. I had a few in, and there's somebody jumping in. But anyway, so this PRS shoot coming up is I think it's around 1,400 yards is the farthest, if I remember right, and it's down on Cut Bank Creek, which is north of Cut Bank, and so it's kind of got the same sort of river cutout rim type look, the same thing as the Chester shoot. If you go back and watch that video, that was a pretty sweet shoot. This is going to be something similar to that, I would imagine. So yeah, that'll be a lot of fun. And so we're just kind of waiting for that to happen, and just still kind of out there just plugging along, shooting as much as I can, trying to get this channel to grow. So I thought maybe they suggested I should do some more lives, so I thought, well, I'll try one tonight and see how it goes, and hopefully you guys will come in and join us on the next one. So but that's probably about what I got for you in this one. It's not going to be a very long one. I'm just kind of testing this out just to see how it goes and see if we get some folks in here, and if you got any questions, anything like that. So but anyway, like I say, 6.8 Western, ADG brass, Mag Pro powder, 165 ABLRs. That's what I'm going to be doing next, and probably 65.8 grains, and we'll see how them things do. So, but hopefully you guys will join me on the next live that I do. I should be able to do this once a week anyway. We'll see how it goes, and so we'll catch you in the next one, and thanks for joining me on this live video. So we'll catch you guys later.